Hey folks, welcome to G4G on YouTube. I'm Napalm Dawn, or in this case, Druidicus the Fat Bear Druid. I'm here to talk about what's going on with the World of Warcraft Shadowlands beta. So, as you may have heard recently, the Shadowlands expansion got kicked back from late October to some future date. Nobody knows when that is yet, and this goes into a discussion that was had way back in the beginning of the beta when myself and a lot of World of Warcraft content creators on YouTube were saying, well, they could go one of two ways. They could either have a short beta because they know Battle for Azeroth is pretty trash, and they would want to get people into the sexy new upgrade as soon as possible to not lose their player base. Or they could do a long beta to ensure that they produce a quality game that they know everything is on the line. Warlords of Draenor was a crap expansion. That is pretty much universally believed. Legion was considered a very good expansion. That is also universally believed. To me, I also call Mists of Pandaria a crap expansion. That is not universal. That is a little bit more hit or miss as to whether or not people feel Mists of Pandaria was a good expansion or not. It could be considered the Bikini Beach episode of Warcraft expansions like an anime. It could be the throwaway season in anime that just is like a little side plot. But, you know, that one's a little bit more split as to whether or not people liked Mom. But Warlords of Draenor and Battle for Azeroth mean it's 2-1 in the last 3 expansions that they're crap. And I know a lot of people that pretty much feel that if World of Warcraft generates another crap, and I don't know what's with these misses. If World of Warcraft generates another crap expansion, they're probably done with the game. And if you pay attention to YouTube a lot lately, there's people that are talking about, hey, you know, Final Fantasy XIV still churning out good stuff, and they're not really changing the core mechanics and loops of the game, but it seems like World of Warcraft keeps doing that. We have legendaries, we have artifacts, we have AP, we have the neck, we have the corruption, Titan forging coming, going. It's just, yeah, okay, you're here. Is there anything? Oh, we may see. Yeah, this might be one of the things that is a little bit problematic. So, why did Shadowlands get pushed off? Well, to be honest, the beta is buggy. And for me right now, I play 2 games that are pretty buggy. And that is the Shadowlands beta and Marvel's Avengers. Both of them are fairly rife with bugs. For this one, even just... So this is my second time going through Bastion. This is my actual Druidicus from the live servers. I had made a template Druidicus that went through and did everything except for one section of Revendreth, because I had already committed to Maldraxxus, so the Revendreth vampires, being all snooty, were not letting me into this area that I needed to continue questing in. But I had done literally everything, and the night I was going to go into Torghast for the first time and do a video on it for you guys, they wiped the beta. So I am now back at an official copy of myself. Now, in this area here and Hero's Rest, there was a lot of bug quests. I had to go see the innkeeper here for a quest with a PH placeholder. Never could turn it in. Some stuff in this area was buggy. A cave where I meet a lady who has like a Larian pet. It was bugged for multiple days. I mean, the teleport sound when you're coming in from Oribos and you're flying, there's already an add-on that mutes that because it's so terrible, but that was also super buggy, where you would fly in and it would stay with you, and sometimes it would just appear even if you were not doing anything, where you would have had that sound to begin with. Now, as it turns out, if you go into settings and you switch your sound around, and I'll show you that in just a second, you can get rid of the sound if it bugs, but the visual was still there. So if you were to go to System and you go to Advanced, Sound, right now it's set to my Sound Blaster, but if I changed it to Default and then back to Sound Blaster, it would get rid of the sound, but the visual's still there. For me, the sound was the biggest issue. For some people, the visual was the biggest issue because it like almost want to give them a seizure. To be honest, I felt like October was short. When I heard it was October, I was happy to be in the game. I was happy to be in the game prior to the holiday seasons, which means raiding would have started. We could have taken some time off of raiding for Thanksgiving week and then Christmas week. And it would have felt good. Now my guess is that Shadowlands will come out around Thanksgiving. They're probably going to go into some serious crunch at this point because they keep changing a lot of things, but then not changing a lot of things. Like Torghast really didn't go through a lot of changes from what people have been saying. They kind of expected it to be refined a little bit more, and there were many, many patches where nothing really changed in Torghast, but Threads of Fate was buggy. So what is Threads of Fate? Threads of Fate is your main goes through the game and does all of the stories. And then when you do an alt, you have the ability on the alt to go ahead and say, I don't want to do the stories. I just want to knife through all of this bullshit as much as possible, pick my covenant right from the beginning, and just proceed at my own super fast pace. Well, the Threads of Fate got buggy, and it had been changed several times as to how you go through it, what does that do for the plot of a zone. People were out leveling Threads of Fate where they were doing everything they needed to do and they would be stuck at 59, 56. It just had major issues, and that is probably the reason why everything got so bad. That is most likely the reason why the beta got wiped and the whole expansion is getting pushed back. It's going to be something we have to deal with. That's just what it's going to be. I don't know if I want to level all the way to the end again in the beta. I think a major reason why I disliked MOP is that I played it too much. I had nearly completed the beta when my World of Warcraft playing girlfriend had joined. So I dipped back and brought her up to the current content. We even then started doing dailies, like we were progressing towards the Wind Serpent faction, and we started like acting like we were going to try and earn one of those mounts, which was kind of stupid to do for a beta, but at least it would give us an idea what it was like to do it online. But even if we got the mounts, not like we would ever be able to do much with it. So we played the crap out of the beta, and then it went live, and then again I was in a position where I was halfway through the leveling. Girlfriend had been dealing with some things. She was ready to go. I was kind of dual boxing the accounts to catch them up a little bit. And it was just like I overplayed Mop really, really badly. And I also dealt with a group of people that had joined the guild that, wow, that's actually quite a lot of what I need over there. That was really quick. I had dealt with a bunch of people that had joined the guild that were harder core than we were. We were what you would call mid-core, or casual core, to a certain degree. I mean, we finish our expansions, we do the raids, we do the achievements, you know, we've got a lot of those achievement mounts and everything like that, but these guys were super tight in what they liked out of raids, and it caused a bit of a conflict between myself and other raid members. And while we did have a ton of progression, it came at the expense of the sanity of a lot of people. So Miss Pandaria just was a very rough expansion on me, so I was just super done with it. And Warlords was different. I wasn't personally done with Warlords because of people, the guild, or anything. It was just a trash expansion. Biffa was just kind of a trash expansion, so they really need to knock it out of the park with Shadowlands. And I did, in my heart of hearts, believe that if Shadowlands released the way that it was in October, we would have had issues. Now, there was... This person is tough. This person has wiped me before on my template character. I wonder if I can take this person on with my raid gear character. Let's find out. So you actually have to summon her by having 3 people stand. No, she's a skull. Never mind. She's here for a capped out daily. Even in my current gear, I cannot beat her unless... Yikes. Unless I have somebody healing me. Which, at the time that I had fought her on the beta, there was a shaman there who just continued to DPS. I'm like, dude, you're gonna keep wiping us unless you heal me, because she kills me and then she eats your face in about 2.5 hits. And the shaman just wanted to keep doing elemental stuff. I'm like, okay. And then that's it. Like, everybody gave up, and I was like, man, all you needed to do was just fucking heal the tank, and we would have been fine. Yeah, but anyway, I cheerlead WoW a lot. And that is an admittance. I'm a guild leader. I'm a raid leader. It's never very handy to have the main tank, or the guild leader, or the raid leader, be sour on the game or sour on the expansion. It doesn't promote unity and confidence. But I will tell you, I didn't have confidence in Shadowlands being good, especially with Threads of Fate being bugged. Conceivably, you could say, Napalm, well, wait a minute, Threads of Fate is for alts. What's the big deal if they dropped it in October and still had a week or two to work on things for alts? Yeah, well, let me tell you, there's people who can cap out in 24 to 48 hours. I think I maybe knew somebody in my guild who hit max in Biffa within 18. And, you know, to be honest, Shadowlands did not seem like it was a very slow expansion to level. If you did everything in a zone, and you were doing things beyond just the plot quest and everything, you leveled fast. If you explored a little bit, which I did mostly because a quest would be bugged, and I'm like, well, I have nothing else to do, I can't get out of the zone, I'm gonna explore the shit out of everything. Yeah, you had a lot of passive experience coming in, and people in the general chats of this expansion and the beta were complaining that they were hitting caps, or they were hitting passive caps where they couldn't go any further because there was nothing to help them level. And they were screwed. You know, nobody wants to go out and just grind mobs. This isn't vanilla. You don't do that anymore. You had to do that at several times in vanilla because Blizzard didn't know what they were doing, and they didn't always plan things right. They've learned from that, so to be stuck and just floundering without any ability to level other than, you know, killing thousands of boars a la Cartman, what were you going to do? So that was bad. That was definitely a bad move there. And seeing those complaints in chat, knowing Threads of Fate were bugged, and a lot of people, you know, raiding is the end-all be-all for the core of WoW, but there's a PvP core, there's a casual core. There's the I want to play everything, do everything group that goes in the casual core. So when they level their main, they're not necessarily getting prepped for raiding. They've like, I've done one thing, I need to do another. Like playing multiple characters in Marvel's Avengers. So having Threads of Fate be super bugged and not work correctly is going to piss off a good chunk of the WoW community. So no, you can't say they could just take a week or two to fix it as it goes live and people level their mains. There's going to be people ready to do Threads of Fate within 2 or 3 days. Oh, Keela, let me tell you what you're in for. You have no idea. Yeah, I know. I very much know the plot of this zone right now, and these people are woefully, blissfully ignorant as to what's about ready to happen in the zone. Bastion, I could tell you, is my favorite zone in terms of ambiance. I'm going on the record and saying that if I die, I want to go to Bastion. Mostly because it's just peaceful, has wonderfully peaceful music and everything like that. There is a very dark underbelly to Bastion and its zone and what's going on with its people, but the nice parts of Bastion, I can definitely stay around for that. Maldraxxus is like very Naxxramas X-ish. Revendreth is sort of any vampire movie where blood all of a sudden becomes scarce and they have to do weird things for it. In this case, the blood being anima, and anima is, well, I'm not going to tell you what anima is. You'll have to find that out. But Ardenweald is pretty cool as a druid. It should be my favorite place. It's not. Bastion is just very peaceful and calm and lovely music and everything. And the Maw, of course, is just terrible. I didn't even know you can't mount in the Maw because I'm allowed to go into mount form, and I'm just trekking through it. I'm watching videos and like, and you're not allowed to mount in the Maw. I'm like, oh, really? Oh. Okay, didn't know that. So I know what my covenant's going to be. I'm going to stick with it, unless something really tells me otherwise, but the armor fit me, the mount fit me, the abilities fit me. I could use this beta run to attempt something else to see, like, pick the one that parses the best. But I'm probably still going to pick Maldraxxus again, because I had a tough time with it being... Oh! That's another bug. So when you were trying to deposit anima into your reservoir, if it was in any bag other than your first bag, this one, the backpack, bugged. You... Aww. I out-leveled the Lightning Forge, but I didn't out-level the Fel Focuser? Wow. Interesting mechanic to the game there, Blizzard. I think you screwed that one up. I mean, I can understand them cutting off the Augment rune, but you forgot about others working. Agility, Intellect, and Strength by 6 for an hour. Agility, Intellect, 8. And Stamina by 12. Huh. The Fel Focuser is actually better. except for the fact that it has a long cooldown and the Lightning Forge Augmented Rune doesn't. But, yeah, there is... That anima bug for depositing in the reservoir was awful because it took a long time to try and figure out what the issue was, and there was a lot of things you couldn't do when you were on a quest to deposit anima in your reservoir, and then you couldn't. So I'm glad it's pushed back. I'm sad in I'm sad in one level because I don't get to play the live version and actually begin my forward progress for real. But the game needs to be better, and I think the game being better in the long run is way better than somebody shoving that expansion down your throat at this point in time. Yeah, this was always another thing I never really got. There's a star here. I think this maybe is trying to tell me something, but I don't exactly know what it's trying to tell me. Maybe that's like a rare of the day. A special rare or something. I don't know. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. Shadowlands is getting delayed. When will it show up? I think it will definitely show up before Christmas. I think most likely it'll be around Thanksgiving. That's when they've tended to have a lot of expansions drop, so...
Did you make a list,
I think we have to wait for a while, and that is for the best. Because they can't have another botched and scuffed expansion. And, you know, that was the thing about Biffa, is people said you need to learn from your beta testers. You need to chill out. You need to listen to the community and make those changes when it goes forward. And they didn't really do that in Biffa. They were like, we hear you, and they waited a long time to act on the we hear you stuff. It's not particularly smart. And, you know, COVID. That, of course, brings up a lot of issues right there. Everybody's working from home. How effective is it? How effective is collaboration on the project? How safe is a cloud environment? You know, how secure is a cloud environment when you are doing that kind of work? So, yeah, oh well, it's delayed. But hey, it gives me a chance to maybe do some more videos and streaming, and I've already done recorded 2 dungeons worth of boss kills to do videos on. And it'll give me a chance to do a little bit more and actually have a character that I'm more in touch with than my original templated druid. So anyway, guys, I will catch you later. Have a good time. Stay safe out there. And if what do you think about what's going on with the Shadowlands delay? Are you like, oh man, well, that's typical for 2020, and, you know, would you rather wait to get it, or do you just agree with me and say, yeah, we need to have a really good expansion, otherwise everybody's gonna start playing Final Fantasy XIV and WoW's gonna lose their player base? Alright guys, I'm out. Catch you later. Looking for your comments down below.